Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about the front end part of my project Type Anything. Here, this is my starting app. That means here I created, installed the React app, and in that source part, in that app.js, I have deleted the unnecessary files. After that, I have restored it the part. The first part I done was to create the home page. In that, before that, I'm going to explain about the this project. This is admin components. In that admin components, we have that admin table, and it is the admin pages. Here there are two pages in projected. I create only two pages. That is only you can see that in these two routes it is only to home page and admin page. In this admin page, it consists of one table, and it is created here. In that table, I'm displaying the data from the anything data, and that means that's a code itself and displaying that like number of likes and number of unlikes. I have created simple algorithm to estimate the most liked code of it. In that the simple algorithm is this much only. By subtracting the number of likes and number of unlike, and by comparing that data of all the results, and the more that means the most number, highest number, with that we can declare it as the most liked code. And here the different components. This home component, there are three components itself: header, content, and footer. In this first part I done was the header one. That header, I have created one header type something and applied some design to it. And header component means at the top of it we can see the type on the thing header, and that's the header part of it, and apply some designs into it, and background color, padding, text lines, like that. And next one is the content part. In that content part itself, we can see that the codes that are displayed on the screen. In the content part, we can see that here it is a form, and some designs are done using, that means the material design is also used here. And here this is the form part, and on submit, and this is the handle submit. This is the two inputs. The two inputs are the name and description part, and on the click it is sent to the backend part. Here we can see that in that handle submit method we are fetching the data API from the backend itself, and this method is post, and the header is also declared, otherwise it would not work. And in this body I am sending this name, description, like. After that, this name, when the results are sent successfully, it would, that name would be set as blank, and the descriptions also would be set as blank, and that message would be created. And that severity, that means that is the snake bar. That snack bar, it's imported from the Material UI. It is one of the alerts that is created in the Material UI. From that Material UI, we can set the severity as success. Here it is the severity, and here is the enter close on the click. That means that alerts are created, and this message, when it is posted successfully, we are setting the message as codes created successfully. If it is not created successfully, we can set the message as please fill both the name and description. That means if the name and description is not filled, that means if it is put as empty, we will set the severity as error and would create a red alert in it. And the alert is created in the top right corner of it. I have set in, and this method is created, this snack bar method is created from the Material UI, and alert is also created from Material UI. Before that, I have to set the different name and setting the values done using useState method. Like that for description and message severity and unlike itself. And we can also see that uh, in this on clicking, that means this event method, when the event method is created successfully, we are setting the like values and unlike values 0, and that values would be passed to the, that means that this like value would be 0 and like value would be 0, that would pass to the backend part of our project. And like that it's created. First I created a simple method, and after that I improved by, that means to increase that design and improve that design method, I have created that material UI alerts like that and imported it and make it good. And and the footer method, this I not created, I not constant mainly, I constant mainly on the content part, and the footer is created that and applied some CSS design, and its background color here, and its position is fixed, and its width also it's full 100 percentage, like that. And this content part is created, and these are of different codes, like that. And this is the neighbor created for the admin method, that means that header is different as compared to the header, that means that header method that is created in the type anything section, and this is the admin part created here. And this home method that I have explained it earlier, and next we are going to discuss about the common part. And here this is the anything data method that is created here. And in this content part, under the header method there is a small form to create the post and name itself, that means that is the method for creating the codes. After creating the codes successfully, we are successfully displaying these codes under this content, that means this method, that means this component. So for that I am using the anything data component. In this anything data component, I am displaying the data from the anything data using this grid method. In this grid that I am importing it from the material UI itself. You can see here is the material UI grid. And by using the use effect method, I am exporting those values from the responsive. By using the get method, I am getting the data from the, by using the backend method, I am getting the data that is processed successfully, and from that I am setting the temporary anything data. That is a variable here. I have declared that in temporary thing data here, and I am referring to temporary anything data. And this set anything data and anything data is created here by using the useState method into the arrays, and it is created successfully in that arrays. In that anything data arrays, I have created those data. After that, in the return method, by applying those styles like padding, that means to create that means that above and below, the above part and left right side, we have to create a space in it, even though it is not responsive, but we have to make at least some, that means that should be near to the responsive part. So here in the script part, anything I am, by using the mapping method, I am forgetting the individual data into it. I am putting that different data into the different styles. For example, data description, data name, and under the code method, I have created two buttons. That is the like button and comment button. In this like component, we will go to like component here. In this like component, we can see this like button here. Here it is also I created form here to get that values and to successfully submit that. That means we have to update that value from 0 to 1, and here by button here, and this is the like one, and this is the thumb up outline icon that is exported from the material UI. And here this is the on click method, even on click method. By clicking the like button, we would be increasing the 0 from value to 1. So in this on, we can go to the on click function here. This is the function on click, and we are passing the values from that anything data. 1 minute. Yes, in this is we are exporting this value using the props method. Here the props, after mapping those values and putting these values into these values are found in the data one, and this in data I'm passing it as the props, and here I am assigning is as props equal to data inside the curly brackets. So I would get that each values of it from that I would get the id as props.id, and like is equal to props.like, and from that unlike is also props.unlike, name is also props.name. So in on click method, set id in that both kind of curly brackets are passing this id, that individual id, and like is also passed here, and this like method. Okay, let in that backend part I have discussed that by finding those id and update it from 0 to 1, and in this I am passing this like id from here, and this is the actually is put method, but I have put post method, I would change it, and here this headers are created, and in this json.stringify I am increasing this like from 0 to 1. At the same time, the alerts are also created here. Here it is created using speed alert method, that is done using that is in that React as a feature like speed alert, and I'm setting it like that for unlike method also. In this event method, in this unlike button, I have sent those two functions into this method. In this set unlike, I have passing on this id and unlike button unlike also, and this unlike I'm increasing from 0 to 1, and it would be send a successful results. And for that also I'm sending the speed alert. For that, this is a icon, that is thumb down icon, and its timer also. Now next part is the comment part, and on the down of it we can see the comment part also. Here is also I'm passing this mapped data to the comment component. In this comment.js I would send an open method set open as useState false, and it is created mainly for the model part. In this I set the model from the material itself, and in this model it is set as open. As it is open is set as false here. By opening this model one, it would be set as true here. After it is functioning, and here in this model I created in this inside the box itself I created form for sending those inputs that are name and comment part, and on click itself the comments would be posted, and this on click function I've set here, that is insert an id would be passed here, and in any id and set an id I have declared it using the useState method, and this any id, that is the individual id that is created, that is sent from the this method. Okay, and you can see that this post method here, In that props.id I am passing the set and id and props. That means individual code, there is individual id, and I am say I setting this id on the click itself. I am setting this id. So I would be passing this name and command, and for anything id, this any id that is set, that from the props.data I have set, it is sent to the anything id, and at the same time it is set name and set command is that means that is reset, that values are back to empty and again. And this anything ids of types of object id, and we are passing this any ideas I have discussed in the backend part itself, that we have to compare with the id of this command schema anything id. By that, by using this aggregation method, we are comparing it, and we have to create these arrays of these comments method. And for that I'm using the for view comments, that's one view comments option. By clicking that, we can see the comments in it. So, and here it is. By fetching this data, by using this API, I am fetching the data from the API itself. That is done by using the get method. I'm getting all these data and this name, and I'm matching this name. And name is sent from here itself. As usual, I have sent from the pros data method itself. In that, I am declaring as name constant, that's equal to data.name. And also I am declaring the set anything names good name, and set open is also true. And in this handle close option, set open would be as false, as we know that by closing that model or box itself, we have to set that box open false itself, and we can view the comments from here itself. From this, I'm getting those personal comments array from the backend part itself, and by mapping it, we are given this command name and command itself, and by clicking out we are able to get the displaying of comments here itself. So if you need out, you can comment in it. And this is the readme file. By creating itself, it would be created automatically itself. Thanks.